Revolution. This revolution will be posted on Facebook, followed on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram for the convenience of all to like, comment, whatever. Meaning, hashtag, and post. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, people still out here posting. Video courtesy sponsored by Jordan, the official shoe of all the marches of the oppressed. Excuse me. This revolution will have artists artistically and hope-tepidly illuminating the erectile deficiencies and social atrocities of our struggle by breaking down the complexities of being conscious contradictions. Hey, you like that? I've been working on my woke. Okay, since the revolution will now be happening at your front door, but from behind your computer screen, please send all donations via Kickstarter to FuckRealRevolution. Okay, speaking of kickstarting, the revolution will be kicked off with a free concert featuring only conscious artists such as Lil Such and Such, Big Whoever, and Young What's His Name. This revolution will also include all of your favorite performers such as Justin Timberlake, and Miley Cyrus. Everyone gets a new can, a new piece for protest Pepsi. All the rap by Kendall Jenner. Y'all, this revolution will march the chants like we are not our ancestors. We will fuck you up. St. John's insurrection or the Baptist War, because this revolution won't know enough about where it's from to realize we've been here to know where we're going or how to get there. This revolution will be so delusional in its anger that it won't realize it's only fighting against its own progression. So yeah, this revolution will be televised. Will we see St. Or this revolution with its mama oppressor can it play outside today? We'll have a curfew be in before the police night. This revolution will encourage all riots orchestrated by the oppressed as long as they stay on their side of the street. So this revolution will be overseen by the same cops who protest are the ones who come to serve and protect or break your neck or legally choke you out or shoot you with your hands up. See, this revolution will be a shining example that the oppressed can simply just ask for their freedom from their oppressors. Hashtag alternative facts. Yeah, this revolution will be whitewashed and black. This revolution will camera from film you get beat but won't throw a punch. Yeah, this revolution will post things on Facebook but won't attend a fucking march. Revolution doesn't even really need your consent or your participation. Cause this revolution right here, my nigga. New age revolution right here, my nigga. This revolution just needs you to keep doing what you're doing. I behaved as a child, but when I became a man, I learned to put away childish things. To my stepfather, Reginald Harris, thank you for teaching me how to be a man, showing me the ropes, how to roll with the punches, when up against the ropes, keep my chin out. Guard down, be open target for your cheap shots, be heavy bag for all of your bad days. See, apparently, when life makes a man feel unworthy of the title, having boxing matches with my innocence was the quickest way for him to feel like a champion again. He told me the Bible with no whisper of scripture, but made sure to write his word in all the red and bleeding of me. I remember this one time I was sleeping, dreaming of heaven, until I was awakened by the wrath of God. In his right hand I wept like Jesus. He replied, "Shut up before I give you something to drop." This is a lesson found in Proverbs. Thank you for teaching me what a man being slow to anger looks like. Black eye, bruised face, chipped tooth later, you let me stay home from school, and you brought me a honey bun. The lesson, real men can admit when they're wrong. I a black parent's parable, that what goes on in this house stays in this house, that my mother had already started calling me a traitor because I couldn't keep my broken face together long enough before our business started spilling all into the streets. I was told, hold it together, so I did. I clamped down into myself like a bear trap. I held my tongue like a seizure victim. I smiled and said nothing. Smiled through the pain caused by smiling. The lesson, real men don't show weakness. They hide the pain in their face behind the hurt in their hearts. When you train up a child in your toxic ways, when they get older, they will not depart from the hurt and pain you caused. And I stayed stuck in your ways. I broke everything, fought everything, I fight everything in this ring of life with my chin tucked, my guard up, throwing haymakers at homes, swinging on anything, getting too close just to make up for all the times when I couldn't fight back. You see, apparently, when a boy is taught how to be a man by a male that has not actually grown into a fucking man, the boy becomes an open scar that'll never heal right. So thank you, Reggie, for teaching me what never heal right looks like. For being such a walking hemorrhage that I could look at you and know where to apply pressure to all this bleeding I was. See, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. I behaved as a child, but when I became a man, I got tired of my image being made in your reflection. I opened these fists and finally found love in my palms. I learned the power of forgiveness, and I've gained enough to be able to say that I pray one day you can forgive yourself enough to do the same. So call your heart needs to rest. So come into my so you can hide will grow inside your chest. Your heart needs to rest. So come into my like, hey, I got a question. What's the difference between Frederick and Breeze? You know, I never really thought of there being a... I would answer you, but first I have to know which one of us you think you're talking to. Wait. I got a question. What's the difference between a therapist and a nosy person just trying to screw with my fucking head, right? Because you know, you're not a therapist, so that would make you a nosy person just trying to screw with my fucking friends.
like a guard dog. He would love to play fetch. He just refuses to let go of the stick, or his heart, or his demons. I mean, he wants people to see him. He just doesn't want to be exposed. He's very abstract art. Paints passion with how he loves, but can only picture the pain and broken that loving heart has always left him with. So all you end up with is this beautifully shattered, open wound beating on the canvas of his. I don't really know how to explain it, right? But it does remind me of this movie I seen. Okay. You want to talk about Breeze? Then poet who puts love in his art thinks writing is his heart's form of freedom. But that's so stupid. He's not free just because he can cleverly articulate his chains. You know, it's so stupid how he takes his shoes off on stage as if the space be safe and sacred for him. But there's nothing safe about bleeding pretty for people who aren't gonna help you clean up the mess you make of yourself. They can't go in, poet, and they never even consider how the fuck you'll get out. I get it though. Why he's so guarded? I mean, hasty, misunderstood. No one tries to understand. They just sit comfortable in their assumptions. Use him as a scapegoat to justify how badly they treat him. I watch him be caution taped into a cage quite often. It's crazy. I look at him now and I can't tell if he's a murder victim or a suicide weapon. All I can tell you is that it's killing our heart, and it's so sad, because honestly, that's the best part. The movie, where this guy kidnaps a couple girls, and he has a bunch of different personalities living in his unknown. Okay. You want to breeze his openness to expose how closed I seem. How will us explore that, shall we? This openness only makes him a gun range, a target, a bullseye for rightful rhetoric. He doesn't understand that love is a fighting word. Why the fuck you think the heart is the size of a fist in the first place? Honestly, he's so weak. I'm tired of him calling me weak. He doesn't understand the strength it takes to hold on to anything. Honestly, he's just a coward who measures his strength on how far he can push everything. A breeze is just a buffet of trauma, offering himself up for everyone to pick who are scarred. They get full of our faults and leave without ever finishing a fucking place. So all this love or the table's dirty from the scraps of us. They always leave behind. They always leave us behind. Split. That's the name of the movie. Split. The punk movie. Anyway, I don't really know how to answer this question. All I can tell you is that there is such a difference. I hope there's someone out there who can just love. All of it. True story. One day at his mother's house, he sits on my lap. She walks past playfully, shoves him. He hops off, gives chase towards love that he knows loves him back just like he loves. But I watched him learn with running so freely towards at his mother's house, he sits on my lap. She walks past him playfully, shoves him. He hops off, gives chase towards love that he knows loves him back just like he loves. But I watched him learn what running so freely towards love will do to you if you do not watch where you are going. She reached back and smacked him. Impact incinerated his young innocence. It was a direct hit. You could look at his face melting like he just got hit with a nuclear weapon. You could tell he was too busy loving to know that there was a war going on. And now I am forced to flee from the enchantment of my son's freedom, being reminded of all the times I actually thought it was love in the air, how the explosion hit me, how the shrapnel of a broken heart can rip through everything about you beautiful. And I remember how I loved anyway. How I loved Brandy out of the release of the chokehold of her past choices. How she seemed so grateful to have fresh love fill her lungs, but it was too late before I noticed that she had decided to keep hanging around with her old nooses. I remember how I loved anyway. Like when when I busted Shanetta out of the city that held our dreams behind bars, but our talks of forever must have felt to her like confinement, cause she broke out of us, left me a prisoner in my own home. I had to watch her date other men while living with me. I remember it all and how I loved it anyway. Like when Tonisha told me that guy was her aunt's boyfriend and not hers, or when my ex-wife handed me the phone so I could have a conversation with the guy I was sharing her fucking orgasms with. I remember it all and how I love anyway, and I just get scared. What am I supposed to teach my son about love? I can't tell him that it conquers all, but the only thing that's constantly defeated is me. I can't tell him that it heals all when this open wound of a heart just keeps falling and the salty hands can't save him from all the homicidal hands that'll just end up smacking the life out of his ability to love right like his mom did. All I can do is tell my son to love anyway, like his daddy. See, through all the shots to the heart I've taken, you can see I am still here, son, loving hard, and I ain't dead yet. Love anyway, like it has never done anything wrong, because you will never be wrong loving people who do not deserve it. You will only be wrong to stop loving when you yourself are so deserving of love. But I will tell my son of love is to love anyway. Be a hero, a purple-hearted kind of honor that leaves no love lost or left behind because of you. And I'm fighting for love, and you are only fighting against it. And I simply refuse to raise you to become somebody else's war. Prayer, rebuking, removing, and this poem is a prayer, rebuking, removing, and defeating the spirit of fear from your life. Amen. This poem is about the brilliant black boy writing battle bars for Satan, about the gorgeous black girl realizing she is God, therefore praying to her own reflection, because religion ain't enough. I don't know if prayers have titles, but if they did, then this poem would be called, Although I Walk Through the Valley of the Shadow of Death, I Shall Fear No Evil, the brilliant, gorgeous remix. So, this poem kind of sounds like, I guess I got my swagger back. The devil tried to kill me, y'all, but I guess I got the dagger back. Or, the gospel according to Bone Crusher, bitch, I ain't never scared. Or, I use Kirk Franklin's Hello Fear album as an oxygen mask in the gas chamber of give up. Or, how to use an ultralight beam as a nightlight to finish your coloring book while eating Sunday candy in the dark of doubt. You know, just take a chance. No. This poem here is called The Heart is a House of Love. Or love and fear can't exist in the same space. So this poem is called When the Heart Serves Fear Its Eviction Notice. No, this poem here is called I Almost Gave Up Today. Subtitle, But My Daughter's Smile, But My Son's Laughs, But My Mama's Prayers. No, this poem here is called Guess What, yo? Your faith never left. It's just be your inner child, loving to play hide and seek at all the worst times, which is actually really the perfect time, because it always loves to hide in all the places you forget to look when you go through something, like the last place you saw God at. Or this poem is called The Praise Dance of a Sinner, a fight song for a scared to start over, because your genesis be engulfed in darkness when your circumstances make you forget how to speak yourself a son. No, this poem here is called That One Time Fear Was Talking Shit. Fear said, I better not catch you walking through that valley of the shadow of death, because I be that darkness there. I be heavy in them streets, so heavy you won't be able to lift your voice, sing, do a poem, nothing to get you up off my block. You think you tough, huh? Try me, sucker, I'm fear. See if I don't choke the let there be right out of you. Or this poem is called The Pull Up, when I ran up on Fear hoe ass because he was talking that shit. Like I be walking through the
Like I be walking through that valley of the shadow of death often, and bitch, I ain't ever scared. I got my swagger back. Devil tried to kill me, and I'm up in this spot looking as fresh as Sunday candy. A ultralight beam awesome, illuminating all that nothing he thought he was. And yes, I found my faith. It never left. It was just playing hide and seek with the prayers and the laughs and the smiles that were coloring book bright, hiding in the last place I saw God at. Oh, fear. I talked to God. She told me to ask you, what's all that darkness you think you are? After she reminded me that I am the light she let there be. This poem here is called Cursing in Church. The testimony of a heathen that God ain't through with, long as I ain't through with my goddamn self. And no, this poem here is called When the Brilliant Black Boy Writes Battle Bars for Satan. A gorgeous, brilliant remix poem. Hello, fear. Fuck you. And amen.
You're home to rest. So come to my arms. Come and take my hand. For every little lie you tell, so you can hide.
I will never say that progress is being made. If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. You pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that's below me. And they haven't even begun to pull a knife out, much less try and heal the wound. They won't even admit the knife is there.
Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or
Still to be happy about.
you're up too old?
Job's not finished. Job finished? No, I don't think so. I've thrown myself overboard, waves washing over my wounds. I wound up, too wound up, a ticking time bomb. Tick, the television is lying again. Tick, the hole in his face won't close. Tick, the hole in her chest won't close. Tick, it was a toy gun. Tick, it was a cigarette. Tick, it's a woman. Tick, it's a child. Tick, I wound up, too too wound up. A ticking time bomb, tick. What did the jury say? Tick. Why am I crying? Tick. Why am I not crying? Tick. Say something. Tick. It's hard to find new words for old things. It's like sewing a new dress for a dead woman.
It's not possible to constantly hone on the crisis. You have to have the love and you have to have the magic. That's also life. I must have heard it so early that I don't remember the hearing, the actual telling. It was a given that there was a time when black people could fly at will, like a bird. And when I was an adult, I read those slave narratives. One question they always asked them was about, did you ever know anyone who flew? Everybody said yes. Either they saw it or they had a relative or a friend who had seen it. And the situation was always the same. Somebody got fed up and ran out into the fields and whirled and whirled and whirled and flew away.
Maybe when they tell us to go back where we came from, they mean to go back in time, back to the day the Lord made us, back to the day we made everything else. Maybe they mean go back to the day my mother pushed their world out from between her legs.